Hey guys, TechPlays Minecraft here. This video, I am going to be talking a little bit more about the lore of the server. Now, I'm going to be remembering this, so there's going to be some pauses in between all my sentences and everything. Just wanted to let you guys know that. And also, Soldier's back! Yay! Soldier! So I'm just gonna pull this up so that I don't get too distracted, because I get distracted extremely easily. So basically, what we have right now is, so these ships here, this is gonna be a set. I can't remember which one it has all the NPCs in it, but basically, these two ships are coming back from the Great War of the BCG, which basically they are coming from the other side of the planet, and they're, you know, survivors from the BCG, and then of course they settle here, which is where the BCE is now, and there is, so basically what we have for the first scene, there's going to be a couple shots in one of these ships. We already have the set all done and ready. All we need to do is go into the process of recording it, but because I've been busy with school and everything else, it's difficult, and because everyone else is busy, it's difficult, and because half the people are in a different time zone, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. Yeah, so that's what we have for the beginning. And then the Rebel faction will pop up after I think a 3-month time skip. And then we'll do some fighting scenes of the Destroyer Mark 1s and Mark 2s, you know, basically using their fighters to bomb the rebels and all that stuff. And then we'll have another time skip of another couple of months where this cruiser comes in, or destroyer, I don't know. I still don't know what to call this thing, but basically this thing comes in and, you know, it starts winning all the battles. There's going to be 1 or 2 ships or shots or, you know, different instances where at least one of these cruisers, basically the main gun malfunctions and explodes, because back when they first developed that kind of cannon, it was extremely susceptible to that because the wiring was, you know, it was just extremely difficult to maintain and remember where everything is. Because if someone accidentally removes a block somewhere, then the ship is probably going to have a big hole in it by the end of that. And then after that, there will be some reading. I know, there will be reading where, basically it'll be talking, same thing, I guess, sometimes, depends, of what happens. So, you know, the BCE quells the rebel faction. They actually don't beat them out of existence. They actually become friends with the rebels. Well, not friends, but they make a peace treaty, because if the fighting actually goes on, you know, in 40 years, they're most likely going to just wipe each other off existence at the same time. And then, after that, we jump 50 years into the future, where the BCE is constructing a new battleship, the New York. Now, the reason why that plays a bit of a crucial part in the series is because at first everyone, all the other empires don't really care that the BCE is making a new battleship. I mean, you know, they've been building battleships for a few years now, and a few other warships, mainly cruisers, light cruisers, and destroyers. But the New York is just, it's basically a joke of a battleship because of its armor and the range of its weapons, and the limitations of its weapons. And then, of course, if you have some ground artillery, you could easily kill the entire crew of the ship just by hitting the bottom of it. So none of the nations and empires were really concerned about it. Then the BCE builds upon that and makes the Texas, and everyone else is just like, I don't know. I mean, it still has some pretty light armor for a battleship, but we should be on guard. So now all of the empires are basically going to the BCE, and they're like, whoa, what you doing? What are you doing? Like, bruh. That kind of thing. And they're getting a little bit weary. Yeah, pronounced weary. And, they just don't trust the BCE the way they used to, because, the BCE was mainly peacekeeping, and they actually helped explore a lot of the known world. But now, it's kind of like, can we trust these guys? I mean, why are they building battleships out of the blue? And the BC's excuse, of course, is pirates, even though all they've been stealing is outdated Daedalus class ships. And of course, when they steal them, they're heavily damaged, so they don't really have much to work on. Well, they do, it's just that they don't have a lot to reconstruct. Or, I screwed that up, didn't I? Yeah, so, that's the BC's excuse, even though the pirates can easily be dealt with. Easily with, all of the other ships that they possess. And then the BCE comes out with the Kaiser 3 months after the Texas. And then that is when all the other nations and empires go, okay, that was unexpected, because the Kaiser at the time was the most powerful ship in existence. It was like the pinnacle of airship design at the time. So when the BC's just like, hey, look at a new ship, don't you like it? Fear us. And yeah, none of the empires and nations, except the Victorian Empire, who was actually a pretty close neighbor. I'm thinking of putting their nation about here. I'm not entirely sure yet. It might be here. I don't know. But basically, all of the empires are just extremely uncomfortable, and they just don't trust the BCE at all. And then that actually sparks a war between the BCE and an empire. I still don't know which one yet. I'm still figuring out what the empire is going to be called, what their storyline is. But they're kind of like the Imperium Argentum from the Airship Pirate series that Bacchiaro made. But they're not entirely like that. Like, they aren't going to rely on fighters and, light cruisers and stuff. I am still working on all the details, but basically an empire goes to war with them, and the BCE, they just basically start mass producing all of these warships, New York's, Texas's. They don't make more Kaisers, though. They only have that one Kaiser. And I'll get into that in a different video. But basically, what happens is war breaks out and people start dying. And the rebel faction actually breaks the peace treaty with the BCE And of course, by 50 years' time, they occupy this entire part of the island, and then they have a small town here, and they have a base over here. So basically, they start attacking the BCE as well. So they're in a bit of a nice little tight spot on their nice little secluded island that they thought would be good at the time when they settled. Of course, there's going to be, like colonies and stuff like that. There's going to be a few cities that the BCE makes over here on the main continent. But basically, the BCE is screwed. And of course, they can't ask help from the Victorian Empire. Well, they might. I'm still working on those details, because the BCE and the Victorian Empire are going to be extremely close friends. But I still need to work out the details, whether or not the Victorian Empire should be mainly a naval empire or an airship empire, or kind of like a mixture of both. I'm not entirely sure yet. But that's basically all I have. Sorry, I kind of went at many directions at once. I'm gonna do my best to clear everything up in my next video. Sorry I've been doing a whole lot of these. It's just that I've been too busy to record what I said was going to be next, but it didn't end up being the next. I think the next video is Battlefield 4, but it's been too long since I have actually done this, or done that last. I think it was Dark Souls. I can't remember. I can't really remember anything at this point. I'm old. Can't remember. Yeah, so that's all I got right now. It's not a whole lot, but I'm trying to build on it. And by the way, that is actually extremely rough edges there. That's actually like about at least three episodes worth. And each of these episodes, well, the first one, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I plan at some point getting the episodes up to 20 minutes long. I know that some people don't want to sit down for 20 minutes and watch a Minecraft series video that actually doesn't have any commentary, that instead has a whole bunch of scripting and directing and stuff like that. But that's what I plan on doing, because I don't really know why. It's just, I don't know. It just, because if I make a video that's 20 minutes long, or no, if I make a video that's, if I make one of these, if I make an episode 10 minutes long, okay? I make an episode that's 10 minutes long, and it basically ends on a cliffhanger, and one of those cliffhangers that you're just like, oh my god, and then you have to wait like a month for the next episode to come out. You're not gonna get a whole lot there. But if I make it 20 minutes long, I would actually be able to basically wrap up a miniature story arc. So, there would be like a huge battle, and the battle wouldn't end right in the middle of it. It would keep going, and then it would end, and then, you would see the aftermath, and then the video will end. That's basically what I'm trying to aim for with the 20-minute long episodes. The first episode it might be 10 minutes long. I'm not entirely sure, but that's mainly because the first episode is like the most polished, and more like the most thought out one, I guess. I'm not entirely sure yet, but that's what the main plan is. Now, I'm not sure when the first episode will come out, but I plan on it being soon. I'm also going to see if I can work on an animation, because I got this really nice idea. It's just me talking. I don't really know if you guys would like it, but it's basically an animation kind of thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, but anyway, so I hope you guys have learned something. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But what am I doing? Yeah, so I don't know if someone would enjoy this. I mean, it's almost 20 minutes long, so So subscribe if you enjoy my other videos. Please check out my other videos, because these kind of videos I don't do on a regular basis. What's the basis? I'm been doing these kind of videos lately because I'm just busy, and these are the easiest to make. No, they aren't. They're actually the hardest, because I have to think and remember, because I don't write anything down. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop stalling. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.